Alright guys, and today we're here with the summer skip video with the camping Victoria. As you can see here, she's looking about that delicious barbecue. Well, looking cute, I guess. Just like the camping sitter. And over here what they did for her kit is kind of an extension and mostly just repetition, I guess, from other Victoria units. Like this hidden technique here. As you can see here, it does grant damage reduction, and not only that, but bring back the Seed/Shadow buff limiter. But this time, we're including Zeta, which I guess it might be foreshadowing something, but for the most part, Victoria is Zeta's subordinate, and of course, since the two of them releasing the same event, I guess it won't be too bad to give Zeta buff as well. So it is end up being kind of weird since Victoria ends up being a tank. I can see a reduced damage for all eyes, and then if she shots that shell or the attack, that's a attack buffer. And then of course Victoria still inflicts 2 damage and weakness on enemy. There's the skill 1 here. That very much gives all eyes damage inflicted, and then very reduces damage received. And then you get SP recovery if there's Seed Shadow or Zeta. Look, there's this, and that's on our A3 as well. And this skill pretty much reminds me of our swimsuit version. As you can see here, 2-hit damage, first or damage inflicted and inflicts hellfire. That perfectly reminds me of this swimsuit Victoria over here, where as you can see 2-hit damage on single enemy and it lowers defense. One instead Victoria. This new Victoria lowers the enemy's damage inflicted instead of lowering their defense. And of course, Victoria inflicts more hellfire. Meanwhile, this one just inflicts 1 hellfire. And then when awakened, even more defense debuff. So I guess it would be good for stuff like Dark Knight Duel and Clearing Chronicles maybe. Since of course this skill 2 area attack is pretty fast. So it might have some use somewhere in like Dark Knight Duel or so. And of course over a special ability here that grants her own self damage reduction and healing boost, which is okay I guess. And each time Seed Shadow or the activating technique, all allied get damage inflicted buff, and then Seed Shadow or the grant gets an attack buff. And then if activates twice, if ally belongs to multiple applicable groups, so pretty much if one ally is both Seed Shadow or Zeta, which I believe is caused by, well, not really the gear, but I'll get into it first. Her gear does give her more damage reduction and damage inflicted, and an attack buff if Seed Shadow or Zeta, which is interesting really. So she's literally, this Victoria is pretty much made for this New Year Shadow over here, as can of course she's a Shadow unit. And the SP he'll get as well as the other post will help the pocket any technique, especially this is where majority of his damage comes from, especially if awakened, but then the awakening is at A5, so you probably won't ever get that really. But it does line up well with him giving himself attack and speed buffs on gear, and then I've done other buffs here. And of course Victoria recovering SP for this camping data here, which can help to trigger her hidden technique I guess, which then helps to trigger special ability, which of course, as I have mentioned in a previous video, works the better more races you have. So yeah, we already have this setup for Fairy and Thrope, this Victoria as Elf, and of course this Shadow as Human, and then to get the last race you need a Vampire. So even if you don't have that one Vampire, which is of course Elizabeth, it's still fine, really. As you can see here, Elizabeth is pretty much the only Vampire in the game, so yeah, she would be the one to finish out all the different buffs that this setup gives here on her hidden technique. As you can see here from the different races right there, and from the different races right here. We're human, elf, and vampire. Of course, and then of course, Zeta's getting buffed by Victoria herself. All getting buffed to Victoria and so the buffs are kind of flowing a lot, I gotta say, which is I guess a good thing. Because I guess it does allow for some synergy, especially when you put all them together. And it does help to give more value to New Year Shadow. So realistically, I say she's more of a waifu pool just like Zeta. Not too sure how each race will perform. How should I say? I'm not too sure how this mixed race team can perform after the event. And Atomic Alpha and of course that's Monoplayer and Props that's doing the real hard work for Green Element right now. But it doesn't look too bad really. It's just like good or decent characters in general. Nothing bad at all. But you'll definitely want the entire team as well. So yeah, that's about it. And I'll see you for the next one. Later.